Right. I'm gonna get a heat stroke.
Okay, then we can. Welcome to another episode of Behind the Canvas. Bit of a delayed welcome today because I thought it made more sense to just let the music start the video and show you little pieces of the painting process. This time, it was a bit difficult to edit the video because I wasn't completely sure what to do, so the first part of the video wouldn't be too disrupted. But I think it comes across quite nicely the first bit without being too interrupted, I guess. And what you just heard and saw was my brother playing Recuerdos de la Alhambra by Francisco Tárrega. I think that's what he's called. I'll put the title and the name of the composer at the end of the video, obviously. And I think it's just a beautiful piece that my brother manages to make it sound super easy and very natural and very calming. But obviously, I mean, that's not the case. It's probably something super complicated that I wouldn't be able to play myself. And that is precisely what I admire so much about the way he plays, because it makes something this complex feel easy and very natural. But of course, I'm not completely neutral because he's my brother. But yeah, I do find the way he plays very inspiring. And I mean, especially because you can see the amount of practice behind it and the amount of concentration that he has. Anyway, this video was recorded in two pieces. The first part was recorded in the city park here in Hamburg, close by, with a really simple setup. Um, just him, the guitar, and the park around us. And I set up a phone next to my brother so the audio would be a little bit clearer. And yeah, and then the second part of the video I recorded in uh, at my house where I paint, and um, obviously I couldn't do both things at the same time. It would have been really nice to record him and to record myself, I guess, painting him while he plays, but that was a bit too complex for me at the time. Plus, it was a really hot day, so yeah, I'm still quite happy with the result, to be honest. I want to mention a couple of things about the painting process because it exemplifies something that I mentioned in my quick canvas tutorial videos, and that is that you have to pay attention how you place the subject onto the canvas, and you need to pay attention to the amount of space that you have. Obviously, in this case, my brother and the guitar are the main subject of the painting, but I also wanted to represent what I mentioned earlier, that easiness in which my brother plays the piece, the tranquility of it, the focus, the calm, and more or less that amount of concentration that he is conveying and that you saw or hopefully saw at the beginning of the video. And that is extremely difficult, obviously, especially when you're working with such a limited space, which is in this case 20 by 20 centimeters. So once you know that, you really need to pay attention to what you're going to do with the rest of the space that you have. And in my case, that was a bit of an open question because at the beginning, my I think my intention was just to paint my brother and then figure out a color that would contrast with him and make that the background without hinting at anything. But I realized that that would have been a mistake because the nature itself and the greenery around him also plays into this calmness and this, I guess, tranquility that he is conveying through the music as well. So I decided that I needed to include something. But knowing that I was working with a very tiny canvas, I really needed to think of a way to convey this, hint at the nature without representing everything that I was seeing. And I think I'm quite happy with the result because obviously I'm not including the little tiny white flowers that you saw. I'm not including the tree in the background. I'm actually just doing these paintbrushes that kind of go around my brother to frame him even more and hint that the nature was there. And that is enough. And I think that's a good lesson for you if you're trying to do a similar painting in such a small canvas. So I really like making this video, and I really like the topic, and I really like the experience, and I hope that this serves as a kind of like a thank you for my brother for letting me record him. And yeah, I don't know. I hope you enjoyed watching the process and the music as well. And if you like this type of content, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time.